Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you guys all had a green day. Hope you guys having a green week. Just to start off, today's only Tuesday. There's still a lot of stuff that the market still is expecting. Some of it has to do with earnings. Some of the stimulus stuff is still going on. So there's a lot of volatility, and the market is still currently down. So we just got to keep following the future /ES. Here's the 1 hour chart. Let's look at the weekly though, since this week is still fresh. We ended up with a doji up here. So just the beginning of October has been a little rocky. We closed pretty strong towards the end of September, basically the beginning of October, but this is the first week actually, so we're kind of red still. Uh, I know we hear a lot of stuff too about October being a bad month. I guess it's you know things are proving here now so far, so we're technically still red. Nothing's really changed, so until then we're still shorting the tops. Still have potential to buy the dips on some stocks, but nonetheless, be careful because we are still downtrending. Okay, even looking at the 4 hour, still a nice downtrend. Okay, so understand that we came up, we had all these like almost 20 something candles here, all green with one little doji. So yes, expect that nice sell off, and we're technically down here at the bottom. Basically, almost if we end up below this area here, we're going to give up all those gains. Basically, like this never ever happened. But nonetheless, this still can be a good dip buy area, the 3350. But understanding that even if you do buy it at the 3350, you're still risking more downside to this 3300 level. So I'd be careful there. But real quick, I just wanted to talk about BABA today. We've had I've been watching BABA for like a few weeks already. Every now and then it'll show up on the watch list. But recently I've been choosing only up to 5 tickers, and choosing up to 5 tickers gives you that discipline to only be trading those specific ones for the week, and make sure you have those levels ready, for the whole week, so you don't go out of your discipline, go out of your routine that you're supposed to be having on a weekly basis, and just being able to trade, a few setups, a few tickers during the week. Again, you're not going to be missing out on anything. The market is still there. There's up to 500 stocks in the market. It's called the S&P 500 for a reason. Um, so here we have BABA. Okay, and something that I've noticed the characteristics on BABA is ever since we're in this little range right here, this is when I started trading it. I kind of saw that we broke out of this range here, pushed up and came down and tested this as support. So I was able to trade it here. We were able to swing trade it. And here is where I noticed a pattern on BABA because I kept it on my watch list for these 2 weeks here. So we were able to capture some of these moves here. And one thing about it is every time it has a gap up or a gap down, whatever it may be, it always gap fills. And that is something that I took into consideration when looking at BABA. It does have some decent moves, so you can make some real good profits. There's like 274, to down to this bottom of like 266, $6 move. Okay, there's 274, 270, 279, you can just say. So nice move there, right? So, just looking at the way that it moves, it has some solid moves, even on a nice day here. This 309 all the way to this bottom of 298. So that's a decent move, and being able to capture that just like today, it's pretty awesome. So this 306 all the way to this 319.30, close to my second target here. So when I started charting this last week, even up here, this is when I put these two targets. Okay, the first target was this 315, and the next one was the 320. This I was actually expecting this to keep continuing with the momentum, to keep pushing up. But again, every stock has to pull back, and this stock has been holding even with the market coming down. So this is actually giving you a nice base up here. And yes, it has ER coming soon. So next week it won't be on the watch list until afterwards, and see what happens with Bava. And if it wants to keep going up, then we're going to keep going up with it. And that's the awesome part about watching a ticker, that you can understand its characteristics. The characteristics is something very important that I think a lot of traders miss, and they miss that because they go, they switch off their watch list. One day they're trading AMD, the next day they're trading something like Google, or they're trading BYND, and next thing you know, they're trading Walmart. Like, those are, opposite, tickers. And yeah, I agree that, having to look for patterns is really awesome. It's a great thing to understand, and it's a great way to make profits, because you can trade a pattern breakout, a ascending triangle, a big pennant on the, you know, bigger time frames, whatever it may be, a squeeze during pre-market, somebody that mentioned a specific ticker during in the Discord chats in the early morning, or somebody posted in the chart sections, where everybody's posting charts at, whatever Discord server you're in. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to have that. But again, you're going from place to place, point A to point B, and then back to point A and then point B. So you're technically just kind of, going with the wind. The wind has no direction. It just goes back and forth everywhere, wherever it wants to go. That's kind of what it seems like when you don't have any discipline, and you're all over the place. So for me, what I've been doing is just choosing those top 5 tickers and kind of understanding the characteristics of this specific ticker. And this morning, I'm going to 15. I noticed that the past week has just been range bound a lot. So I've been keeping my eyes on this, and you guys all know that any ticker that I like to trade, it's always these huge ranges on the bigger time frames. And once you're able to find that, you're able to capture a big move like this. We were able to capture today. Of course, not the whole thing, but nonetheless, we were able to capture these with targets before they even happened. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention is, when you're watching these tickers, consistently throughout the week, and only specifically trading these tickers, you'll know exactly where your target's going to be whenever it has a breakout. And these targets were set back when we were over here. And, I've been ready for these targets and this breakout. So the awesome part is that I'm kind of glad we didn't get there, around this time. And I'm glad that we came down and we basically just confirmed this whole area right here. Okay, so you got this whole area, and the right there. So this is like a decent range where it built up, right? It came up here and it claimed it again. So all the price action is happening right inside here. So you could trade it up and down all day long. But this was the move actually that we've been waiting for, and we're actually able to trade it yesterday and today. So 311.50, that is the same level that I posted yesterday. It is the same level that I posted on this day. It is the same level that I posted on these 2 days, and the same level that I posted here. Okay. Now, my levels never change. They're there for a reason. They're there because I plan them out. I plan these out on Sundays, and I get ready for the whole week, just like I did here on Sunday. So this thing here gapped down, pushed up, hit the 315, just like the target was there. Came here, 311.50 again. The breakout was actually here at the pre-market, and we noticed it. We called it out in the voice chat. This thing gapped down, and I was explaining to the guys in the voice chat that this was a put because it filled the gap. So right when it started creeping up here and this 15-minute candle closed, this is when I was telling the guys that it had a lot of strength while the market was coming down, and it's been coming down. And this specific trade, I literally just told them that it has a lot of strength. It's going to have some volume, and the first target was this 314, 315 area. It was the first target that we had. The first entry is here, second entry here, and then this was the take profit right here. So we didn't want to hold it any longer than that, due to the fact that it already had a big move. It actually dipped down to this 305, and the 305 to maybe the 311.50 was a decent. So this is where I had the guys scale out, and then the full take profit was at the 315 level, basically this area that we already had as a target. And the second target, of course, I mean that's a pretty big move. So capturing, just this alone, it's pretty decent enough for profits. But that's why we were able to capture this play right before the breakout even happened. So that was pretty awesome, and we were able to have a target. So again, having to watch a specific ticker, a basket of tickers, up to I'd say 5 max, especially if you're not like full-time trading. Stick to a few. You can choose up to 3. It can be just one alone, and you'll be very successful. Just getting to understand when to buy the dip, how it reacts to upgrades, how it reacts to the market being red, how much seller volume it will get when the sector in that specific stock is coming down, or when it breaks away from the sector. Like, those are characteristics, those are things that are good to understand when trading a specific stock. Okay, so I saw a lot of stuff happening today that I didn't really trade. The only thing I traded was this BABA. I did wait for Disney. Disney was the other one, but it never pushed too far. So this was a quick scalp right here. It had this little range. This was posted in Bueller's chat as well, and it did push here. So gave room just for like a little quick 10% scalp. So that was pretty decent. But again, that's kind of just what happened with BABA today. It's pretty awesome. And how I will play this tomorrow, well, this is a bullish candle. I think a lot of people are going to expect a continuation. But I almost want to say, to watch out for market sentiment, but I don't even think that's going to be the issue, because today kind of shows a bullish candle with the market being red. So that kind of just tells you the strength of this stock and the strength of this range breakout. Okay, right here. So again, just that range breakout. You can even bring it up to these wicks right there if you like, just to give it more room for some of you guys. I like candle bodies. So the more candle bodies on bottom or top, that's kind of the range that I use. Because once you start seeing a candle body fill over a wick, that tells you that there's more buyers than sellers in this specific area. Okay, so that's why there's zones. They're not, specific price points. It's just a zone. It's understanding that there's more buyers in this candle, and it's understanding that there's more sellers here on this candle. So it shows you who took over in this specific stock, in this specific trade today. We are at all-time highs, so something to expect is to have bigger pullbacks, kind of like these here. The pullbacks are getting a little more aggressive now because we're a little high. Okay, so we're from basically 169 still pushing up into this 319, 320 area basically. So the pullbacks are getting a little more aggressive. So just remember that, when this has a pullback, it's not crashing, it's not changing trend or anything like that. It's just having an aggressive pullback because this is all-time high, and anybody who's in this stock, from this breakout alone, or even just from here, this 265, it's like super green. So expect some nice sell-offs when you're up in the all-time highs, and don't panic, especially if you're long, you have time. But again, be aware, show your positions. Don't go based on hope because it's one solid green candle. This next day, it can definitely just come back all the way back down. So be aware of things to happen when you're at all-time high. But tomorrow, I want to use this 315 as a dip buy. Below 315, I will not grab it on any dip besides here, this 311.50. Just like I was saying, the range. I want to see that push up, and then the retest, and then base out, and then push up again. If this is something that's going to continue again this week, we still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we can definitely come back down here in the retest to closing the day at the 311.50, the week. But again, we can close around this 320 area. So, have some expectations with this specific ticker. And if you're trading it, if you think this is going to go to the moon, be aware where we are at all-time high. This thing has earnings coming up, and it's had a decent run. So be careful trading it. Don't go too crazy. The premiums are kind of high. I know some of you guys do weekly, so they're about $4, $3, $2. Don't go too far. You want to grab the in the monies. The further you go, the more risk you run, because at every pullback, your premium will lose a lot of value. So just be aware of that. If you're grabbing November 6th, we're like at 60% right now due to the earnings that are going to come up next week. So the premiums are pretty high up there. So this is why I say that I probably won't be trading after this week until after the earnings and until it all cools off with IV and stuff. But yeah, I hope this is something that helps you guys understand why BABA was a nice trade today, why the breakout was pretty awesome, and yeah, I hope you guys stick to some discipline and watch for stocks that have characteristics. This way, you guys are able to become better traders, and that is the goal as to why we do these videos. Thanks to Bueller that everything that he does. We're about to hit 1K subs, so share these with your friends, families, Instagrams, tweets, whatever you guys have to do. Get those streams up so they can learn as well. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a green week, and then I'll see you guys in the chats.